and welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Bob, and this is the 24th session of the Shadow Kingdom 5th Edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I am joined here with Vic as Boy Mary, Ryan as Mother June, Adam as Dr. Richter, and Nick as Girl Mary. We are picking up where we left off with the gang heading out to the Horse's Head Tavern to meet up and interrogate the there are new members of the Pyre. This is going to be too warm. About what we are about the missing money. So, what you doing?
We are going to the Horsehead Bar to interrogate the new members of the Pyre about the missing money.
You sound like someone real smart said that recently.
Yeah. I copied my notes from somebody.
Might as well say that might as well let me go in first. I'll try to see if I'm able to successfully convert anybody this time, and if I do, they might be more willing to share the information.
Alrighty, so you're going in, and the rest of you are staying outside, and you're training today.
Yes, I was training Huxley.
Alright,
for
so
the Come Command.
Girl Mary is working on training Huxley for the Come Command. What did you roll?
I think 19 overall.
Oh, yeah, that will be plenty, but it will take you the time. So
Yeah.
we've got you sorted for the day. Alright, so Ryan, you walk into the room and
I enhance ability first,
okay.
but then yes.
As you walk in, there's Jake, your lieutenant enforcer, getting everyone set up and seated and informing them that there's going to be a meeting. And as you walk in, he goes, "Boss, they're here for you."
Very good.
The bartender hands you a cup of tea.
Thank you.
As you taste it, you notice that it's the tea that's served at the Red Horse Tavern.
Like, has Sparty been here?
Yes.
And then
Spartacus, very good at his job.
to the member of the gang, I go ahead and approach. I'm like, so tell me, boys, you joined a gang. What is it that you want out of life?
Money.
You want money?
I forgot these guys.
You want money? What do you want to do with that money?
Spend it?
And what do you want? What do you want to spend it on?
Entertainment and, like, living stuff?
Yeah, okay.
You're, I send half to my mother. You send half to his mother.
Good man. Well, what if I could tell you that you could have the money plus more?
So, you're providing food?
And it's just like, no. And it's like, I'm talking about an even greater reward than food. Greater than money.
Hookers?
And it's like that pleasure as well. And it's like, but I need you to take my word for it.
Just the evangelicalness of this. What's better than what you want? What I have to give.
Yes.
You just have to trust me blindly to get it.
So you got a job coming up, or?
Yeah, we have a lot of work ahead of us.
Okay.
Yes, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Does as far as bartender, have you managed to give out any free drinks recently?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, boys, let's go ahead and...
I got the rules posted, but there's a portion of the populace who can't read, and you're staring at a few of them.
Yeah. Well, if you can't read, we can at least do by practice. So let's go ahead and try to teach you guys the hymn
I
again.
pledge allegiance to the flag
Yeah.
of the United Gang of Pyre.
Exactly.
We need a flag.
Yeah, we'll be able to build all sorts of iconography.
Because what's the real thing about religion? Merchandising.
Mm-hmm.
Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Anyway, so I don't know if there's. Yeah, I don't think there's any additional stuff that I can do by myself, at least. Anyway, so, natural 20.
Ah, there you go. So you're rolling for
Auto conversion.
auto conversion. Okay, well the natural 20 definitely gives you the let's say 7, the 21 required DC. So let us.
But isn't the DC only 7?
Yeah. DC 7.
Yeah, DC for whether or not they succeed or fail.
But I have to imagine these guys don't have the best wisdom saves.
Wrote down the number.
31.
$33. I did write down the number. Very proud of me for taking a note. Alright, so. Okay. Does auto convert? It's successful. It works on 7 of them.
So you basically convinced them that there's a higher purpose and they'll still get money. So
Oh, yeah.
the people you're not converting aren't going to, jump ship once they learn this is now a religious cult.
I don't expect my church to be poor.
And remember, cults have lots of people that join up. People love cults.
Mm.
Yeah, the wealthier the better.
Yeah, we can start asking people for seed money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
Go all in. We know
Our
that
Lady
works.
of Perpetual Exemption.
Yeah, we know this all works. That's all it takes. You got to put in some seed money so you can get back something from God.
John Oliver did a really funny
Yeah,
episode
well,
on it.
funny, but
It was funny. They sent him birdseed. A lot of birdseed. It was funny.
And eventually,
I considered it more sad. But I consider a lot of his stuff that he's trying to be funny with sad because he's talking about real stuff in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that makes me sad. That's actually happening. You're telling jokes about it, but
well, you should
You
tell
need to
jokes
have
to change.
less empathy about other people. You know, like when you're watching a kid ride his bike and he falls down and hurts himself, and you laugh at that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
You feel sad for that?
No, you laugh at that child.
Yeah, shouldn't have been riding his bike.
No, children like to ride bikes. It's fun for them. They need exercise. It's actually a good habit to build.
It's fun for me to watch them eat it.
It's important that they learn their lesson.
Like gravity is unforgiving.
Let's be true here. America's Funniest Home Videos was on for like 25 years.
Yeah, I didn't say that a lot of people aren't monsters. That show always makes me cringe.
I believe...
I'm aware I'm the weird one. I don't think that's ever been in question.
I believe a good rule of thumb is no deaths and nothing over 10 stitches.
No stitches. No stitches.
10 stitches.
0 stitches. Stitches bad.
Pretty ambivalent to the number of stitches.
Can you please regain control of the game and move it forward?
Absolutely. Okay, so you spend your time and you give your speech, and some of them seem interested, and the others are a lot more interested in whatever the job is.
All right. Anyway, I take a moment after the performance to go to the front door and go ahead and invite the other members of that are with me here inside.
Is Boy Mary with us? Or is Boy Mary sleeping?
I'm pretty sure he came with us.
This is during the evening, right?
This
Yeah.
is day. This is early morning. This is after your meeting.
Mid-afternoon, yeah, after the meeting.
Then yeah, I'm sleeping.
Oh, okay.
I'm snoozing.
This is the next day from your notes, I'm guessing.
Cause let's see.
No, because his notes started with stuff where we were discussing like what happened with like the butcher's wife, and that was all.
Yeah, the butcher's
morning.
wife and stuff like that.
That was
this morning.
Yeah, that was days back.
Mm-mm.
Because Thursday mornings where I gave him the magic ink.
Okay. And we also learned from.
Yeah, we're still on. You gave him that, then you're going to spend some more time later in the day to transfer over the ritual.
And what's his face did really good, so we let him move on to the prostitute house at that point because he'd come back with that information.
Yeah, Steve did.
Yeah,
it
this
was
morning.
roared.
No, but the part where we learned about the butcher and stuff was the previous day, because on that day, what we did later in the day was investigate the upstairs.
No, we learned on the first one about the butcher and the madam are the other ones, and then we sent them out to get information, and it was this morning that we found out that pillar is taken care of.
Yeah.
So we learned some of it both days, but...
So it's Thursday around 11.
My notes may only take part of the things that I'm there for, but...
Yeah, it's Thursday in the morning.
Okay.
Almost afternoon.
Anyways, so somehow we are wanting me to come in and use a 1-minute spell to read service thoughts as we are trying to get them to convince. So as you come out and gather me, I'm guessing the idea is that we let them know what they're going to be questioned for, and really it's more trying to figure out who's trying to come up with an alibi.
Well, my idea was that we would be able to talk to the gang members one by one so that we're not dealing with some sort of group dynamic in order to ask them questions and try to suss out if maybe one knows a little bit more about the missing money through insight or what have you, and then if we find somebody's acting particularly...
Okay, well I have like total 2 minutes.
Yeah,
the
so
Start with insight, then
well,
whatever you find out.
It
maybe
would be using
of it.
detect thoughts on somebody who's suspicious but not giving up the information.
Okay.
That would be my guess is the best use of detect thoughts. Anyway, so,
Anyways, I will follow your lead.
alright. So, we've got the back office that we can use as far as...
Yeah, there's that back curtain area that the old boss used quite often, and there's the upstairs bedroom of the old boss as well.
Which might be the best...
Oh, what?
Particularly if say, because you think the money was in that safe?
And maybe
And is that currently closed? And yeah.
Yeah, throwing eyes at it? Yeah, okay, sure. And it's like, so have Jake go ahead and tell him, and he's like, go ahead and watch over them here, but we'll want you to send them up one by one so we can question them.
Right.
And go ahead and am I aware of which ones ended up getting converted by their response? No. Okay.
You would have to talk to them more to figure it out.
Okay.
You could figure it out fairly quickly, which is why I didn't have a problem giving you the number, but...
Alright. I'll let Jake handle it then. So, me and...
I did not intend to come up with 30-some-odd names for random people. Well, one of them's named Ray. I think the guy who sends money going to his mother, that dude's definitely named Ray.
Alright.
In the notes he goes.
Yeah, I just...
Alright. I wasn't expecting names. I was just like do I know who they are?
By the time you're done talking to all of them, you will.
Okay. Alright. So I guess we'll go ahead and start the interrogations.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you start leading them. You go up to the room, and the first one up there is Klaus.
Well, good morning, Klaus.
Morning.
Yes. Say, we're here to discuss the potential location of the missing money from Quentin's vault.
Oh, there's money missing?
Yes. And we're trying to investigate and see whether or not anybody in the gang would happen to know who or where that money might be with, and whether or not we have to look outside to see who might have taken it.
I did not know that there was a vault here, and I did not take any money, nor do I know anyone who has taken money.
Would you know of anybody who would have either known about Quentin's affairs as far as how he kept things, or would have been capable of figuring out where the money was located, as far as skill-wise?
Skill-wise, there's a number of us who are pretty good at that sort of thing.
Okay. Would you go ahead and name those people for me?
Yeah. Since this is going to be a part of an active investigation, I guess I kind of need to come up with names for them. Because otherwise I'd be like, and this one. You're like, well, that one has a name, so we're going to investigate.
To be fair, you could give them numbers.
Yes.
Number 2 and number 7.
Making it a check.
Okay. There is 14 of them that are good.
Yeah. So, 14 ones with potential thievery skills.
Yes, that are good at, like, locks and that sort of thing.
Okay. And, I want to do a quick insight check on Klaus here to make sure that he seems to be on the level.
Okay.
I'm helping. I think that's the reason I'm here.
Okay.
Because I'm generally assuming I'm here because you get advantage on your checks as I assist.
As you whisper over to him.
Yes, we're kind of do some nice level pacing, watching.
I get a 24.
He seems completely honest.
Alright. And it's like, thank you, Klaus. If you find out anything new, don't hesitate to tell us. And while we're still doing the interrogations with the rest of the people, if you'd keep quiet about what we're asking about.
Sure. Am I good to go?
Yep, you're good.
Alright, I'm going to go report patrol.
Thanks.
So yeah, Klaus goes and leaves them.
Tell Jake to send up the next person.
Alright. After Klaus leaves, about less than a minute later, someone else walks in.
Okay. And we'll basically be going through this with each one of them.
Okay, are you going through each one or just the ones that Klaus told you to look at, gave you names for? So I know how long you're doing this for.
Each one. We'll probably start with the ones he gave names for. At some point, I'll probably walk down and list things as we gather information for, who's coming next. I'll come down and whisper things too.
Okay. So,
Jake.
Because if nothing else, it's good to talk to all of your people.
What are the standard questions you ask so I can figure out how long each one of these things take?
It'll be quite similar to what we just asked him. And he's like, are you aware of the money that that's held for gambling at the Horseless Head Bar?
Nope, horse's head.
It's horse's head.
Horse's head.
Yeah.
You keep saying headless horse, which is literally the opposite of the side.
Okay.
Well, somewhere out there, there's a headless horse, because we have the head here.
So, do you know about the money that was retained for the gambling for the Horse's Head bar? Do you know of its whereabouts, or who might have had the skill, knowledge, or capability to take it? And if there's any other information that they can give us as well. And then
I will keep detect magic up since I can freely do it in between, just keeping an eye in case there's anything that stands out from that. But I have 2 uses of detect thoughts if we don't feel like we're getting a good enough read on someone and I'm feeling like I need to push further.
Okay.
So
Well, each one takes you about 10 minutes. And you have, well, you're helping, so your enhance ability doesn't really matter on it as timer.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go through them, and as you get done with the 13th one, you realize that one of them is missing. The 8th name he gave you, Forrest, doesn't seem to be here today.
Mm. Call Jacob.
And Jake pops that in and goes, yep.
Do you know the whereabouts of this Forrest?
Guys said that he goes out drinking from time to time, winds up in the whorehouses, and they just weren't able to find him this morning, so he's not here. I haven't looked into it any further.
Okay. Okay. Well,
What are the chances he can blow all the money in the whorehouses before we get to him?
Pretty easy.
well, if we
All
take
of a sudden, hand holding 60 gold.
So we're missing tabs on a Forest fellow. Were we able to? Did anybody within the gang point fingers at anybody, as far as?
Not really. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of skimming. You kind of got the idea that Klaus, whilst not as good as Jake, was a relatively decent enforcer, and the last boss of this gang was pretty brutal with anyone who fucked up. So there wasn't a whole lot of sticky fingers or shifty behavior because you just weren't in the gang or in possession of your life anymore. If the gang caught you screwing over someone, they have a very similar rule set as you don't mess with people in the gang. So most of them have a pretty strong and positive opinion about the other members.
Okay.
Actually, the shiftiest people in the gang are the people who joined Jake.
Makes sense.
All right. So. But after we get, so, do we still have people to go through, or was that basically?
Those were the first.
Of the people that Klaus gave the.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
have the rest of the people to go through. So you have, it was 14 of them, one of them didn't show up, so you have 20 more people to get through. And each one's taking between 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, we told you, because Jake can kind of organize as far as getting them to work. I want to have him send some of those that we think have cleared
Well,
so far to...
everyone you guys have cleared, if you haven't asked them specifically to stay, Jake sent them out on patrols, because your entire gang for this area that's in turmoil is in one location.
Yep.
So as they've been grouping up, Jake's been sending them out on mission to
Basically,
make sure
just tell them moving forward to part of the patrol is one person's AWOL.
Yeah, as we go through the numbers,
Recover.
we'll go ahead and send them out to go and collect for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
So
send
add that to the work that
the
they're...
last 20 members. You sent them out searching for Forrest.
Yeah, as we talk to them, that's...
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as you work your way through, is there anything you're looking for besides specifically the vault?
Specifically the vault. Yeah.
Before we get-
After we got that information, The other things that I would think would be good to ask is if they knew of any other place where Quentin might have kept his money. And
I mean, there's the bank. He had bank accounts, which when you came in, Abbott had followed you and he set up in the back room behind the curtain and was working on the books some more. So he's still working on trying to get that sorted for you.
Oh, okay. So Abbott might be able to at least have the account for Quentin's account might be defaulted back to the bar at some point if he didn't have somebody that's supposed to inherit that.
Yeah.
So, and that's at least a potential source of money.
Okay.
If we can manage while doing this to also add 2 more, connecting them ideal at some point between their shifts, we might as well just ask the bartenders. They're also always here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could.
So include them in that.
Send the bartenders up. Another thing that I guess I would want to potentially ask is, while we're talking to the gang members, is how easy do you guys think it would be for us to roll in and take over the Madame's ladies' palace over there? Given that she's out of the picture now.
What you get from them is that the old boss had a pretty cordial relationship with her, and they were very much so allies in a similar way that you and the Red Horse Inn innkeeper are allies.
So romantic, and they died the same day.
Yeah, where they don't.
Tragic.
They didn't really fight so much, so you could either try to go over and install your own head of their organization, or try to make a similar deal with whomever rises to power there. That's up to you.
Okay.
Perhaps see who's
Where
rising to
basically
power
the
and who we would
Madame
most want to
gave
get along with.
the Headless Horse Gang a cut of profits and discounts for the members for protection and enforcement, because the current local magistrate is not very keen on enforcing debts to prostitutes. He's got a stance against them of some kind. Even though it's legal, he has a stance against them. So he would not rule in favor of the people having to pay up their debts, so they made a deal with the gang to make sure people paid.
But
So it could be just the business transaction if we provide protection for a cut.
well, that and we also enforce debt.
But it might be best to see who's rising to the top, and if anyone in particular seems more...
We've already got a friendly relationship with them, or at least
One lady is talked to Mary.
Yeah, that's so far your
Yeah,
interactions.
we have no
is
interaction.
One.
No, not us, but the
bar...
the gang as it was previously had a friendly interaction with the whorehouse as previously. So
Yeah.
it's not like they have
Both
any
of them
sort
lost rulership.
Uh-huh.
Whoever's rising might not want that same...
But what I'm saying is that there's not like a long-standing feud or animosity between these groups.
No. But there might be between one of the people that's rising to power.
Right.
So that's why we would want to check into who's rising to power and make sure the one that's like, oh, I hated those guys. They never did right by me. And
Right.
Woman scorned and all that.
yeah.
Right.
We want to avoid that.
Well, good thing we have Steve investigating.
But
I mean, he did really good on this.
alright. So yeah, we'll go ahead and finish talking to him. I guess if I get the impression of which one of these guys happen to be some of my recent converts, I'll talk to them a bit more and ask them how do you think we could improve things, and if they've got any particularly good information that they'd be able to help us out with.
Sorry, I just need to make a note real quick. I rolled for Steve.
Do we need to make an insight checks in order to see if we get any kind of odd behaviors from any of the people that we're talking to?
I mean, sure. Let me know if it's below a 15 or above a 20.
How many do you want?
How many people are you inciting?
Everyone. The point is, we are inciting everyone that comes through.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's the point. If you would rather do whatever divide them by 3 and either we're bad for a period or whatever.
We have the technology.
Oh yeah, digital dice roll. Go right ahead.
And remember, everything's at advantage. So roll all of it, and then anything
2 by 2.
Yeah. Roll everything.
No. I can double it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's how many times?
If we're not counting the 13 that you already kind of worked your way through and found out what you could, 20 more times.
Okay.
It's a lot of dice.
40 d20s, yeah.
So we got 220.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't count because it doesn't add it automatically. Okay, so it's 19, 12, 12, 23.
Are those after your bonus to it, or?
I'm adding my bonus.
Okay.
18, 18, 18, 24, 18. This one was an 8. That's 11. That's 9. That's 24, 12, 13, 10, 25, natural 20, 18, 16.
Okay, so you got 7 above and 6 below.
Okay.
So the 7 above the 20, you found out that there was like kind of minor shisty business where they kind of either let themselves be bribed or they took more than what the debt was owed, kind of thing, where they skimmed some off the top, but never to the detriment of, they took more from the person, not took anything away from the thing. And there were 6 of them that you just didn't really get a read off of them one way or the other.
Well, I needed to still re-roll, but I got how many that were above the mark was 7? 7 of them. So if I take 7 off, and then
I don't. So what was that roll?
my first roll.
So that was the first 20.
Okay, so you have not rolled with advantage. You rolled. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the way I would have.
Yeah, we'll roll
Yeah,
But that definitely
2 by
explains
2.
why it feels like a very low rolls for advantage.
Yeah, I also wouldn't have rolled it that way.
Yeah. That's not any higher because what's the DC I gotta hit?
It's between 15 for your standard information and 20 for extra.
Okay. So that one is below. That one's 16. That's below. This one's 25. That's below. Then this one is 23.
Yeah, Ryan, the way you did this, the numbers don't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah, you'd have to pair them each. It's not like 2 handfuls of 20s and just matching them up as you.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just go with what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably got a read on a few more of the ones that. there were.
Yeah,
and-
basically, if you got over 20, you basically found out that they probably skimmed a little off the top, but only one of them took.
Because everyone's doing it, we're only able to catch some of them on.
Yeah, one of them took a little bit from the previous membership, but you also found that he's one of the ones who's a convert, so you probably won't have a problem with that. And there was some that were just, couldn't get a read on them, one or the other.
Steals from the collection tray to redonate in his own name.
That just tickle your fancy?
Yeah, it's so
It's like,
stupid.
what are you doing? Don't worry, I won't give it back. But I need all the brownie points I can get. You know, I've been doing some shady stuff recently. I don't think it works that way. Yeah, of course it does. Why else would you give donations?
Okay, so that takes you to about, 3 or so, just through all the interviewing and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Once they're downstairs, look into this vault safe.
Mhm.
I'm picturing something behind a painting.
Yeah,
I don't remember if you said that, but my brain definitely painted that.
Yes. And it
I
was.
look into that. I will do a bit of an investigation myself, as they already did one themselves, but not greater than they did.
I'll help you.
You already investigated the room. I don't.
Well, I can
I mean-
point out where.
Yeah.
we
So
are.
you. So basically, whatever. With that, that's gonna be 16, which is probably
yeah, you
equivalent
don't,
around to what they found already.
yeah, you don't find anything new.
And again, where it falls with between the idea of charlatanry to actual power is debatable and really up to your fiat. But I will use my tool proficiency in my eye for divining, and just try and get a read on the room's past, whether the eye and the magic just chooses to paint a picture based on the people that I've talked to and make assumptions for me, or actually learns anything. Completely up to you. But with the tool proficiency, would be 16, and then plus a stat if there would be any applied to it. But
It'd be wisdom.
wisdom, 18.
Okay. So as you go and concentrate, there's some emotions, some that pass very quickly, and you kind of recognize it as the tenseness and the emotions of the fear and anxiety of all the people who were in the room before you, and then you go push further back, and there was a moment of triumph that you feel from the discovery of the book, and you push further back beyond that, and you just kind of feel like a time lapse, but instead of sunrises and sunsets, it's waves of emotion, of frustration, joy, elation, anger, fear, just different emotions of the previous person in the room. And there was elation was the one that happened most recently, that you don't really recognize the person of it, and then it was definitely different than the ones previous and the ones after, but there was a moment of elation sometime in the past. And you're guessing that was probably it, but you're not really focusing in more than you know that someone found something that made them extremely happy.
Okay.
And you can't tune in more on that one in particular.
So at least sort of trying to verbalize and express what I sense about the room. It feels like whoever did find it had a level of joy in what they'd found that they might not have known where it was, that they were going to be able to find it, or maybe they thought someone would have already have had it. But just sort of expressing a little bit of that.
That you got an emotional read on the place that somebody was happy about.
Yeah.
The money.
Well, it was more of an elation, which includes a level of surprise within that. It's not like an expected, oh yes, I have triumphed. It's that sudden sense of joy that just sort of overcame with.
Alright, so it's around 3 in the afternoon. You've done your interrogations. He's done his.
We didn't get anything special off the 2 bartenders, right?
Other than their names are James and Franklin. James is your morning shift guy who seems a bit better put together in Franklin's night. So you actually have names for bartenders. You kind of get the feeling that most of the gang and the people who've come in here gave up on figuring it out because they make their own schedule and no one really stops them as long as someone's there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember correctly. Are these just 2 tall black humans?
They are half orcs.
Oh.
So,
No.
no.
I don't
You
know.
remember wrong.
Yeah. That's why I'm double checking.
Okay, so.
Anyone find Forrest?
Yeah, were they able to retrieve Forrest yet?
You basically just sent the last ones out.
I'm kind of afraid that Forrest ran.
Potentially.
I mean, also, Bob is our game master right now.
What is the likelihood I would sneak a movie reference in here just for it to be funny?
Just so big.
Just an enormous, raging, throbbing likelihood.
Just the biggest clue.
Oh yeah, find that clue.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it would have to be a barbarian who lets you figure it out if it was a raging clue. I'm sorry, that joke was just too much. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my own gold.
I do check. Did he have a home?
He lived here, as far as I know.
I thought there was like only 2 rooms upstairs and
There's
the twin.
3 rooms.
Yeah.
There's the 2 twins and his is like half the building, and the 2 twins split the other half, and there's like a bathroom.
But then where would Forrest?
Forrest doesn't live here.
Oh,
Well, that's what the question was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay,
thought
yeah.
you were asking about Quentin.
Nope. Talking about Forrest.
He had a home, and they went and checked it out, and he wasn't there.
What's the address?
They give it to you.
I go.
Okay, it's about a 10-minute walk. It's pretty close.
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Okay. So you go and knock, knock, knock. Yeah. Wait a couple of minutes. There doesn't seem to be an answer.
Try door.
It is locked.
Check around to the back.
It's a kind of it's a smaller home. It looks like almost like it's kind of seems like it'd be a 3-room kind of thing. Excuse me, where there's like a kitchen, a bedroom, and a dining room, living room kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a small home, better upkept than a hovel, but not by much. And it seems all the curtains are drawn over the windows.
There back door.
There's a back door in the alley.
Also locked.
Also locked. Doesn't have. You have to go kind of around a couple things. Cause
How far do I think between front door and back? How big is the house?
It's maybe 45 by 50. It's not a huge floor plan.
And it seems like a 1-story kind of.
It's 1 story.
And I can get around. How long does it take me to get front to back?
One alley is clogged with junk, garbage, and debris, but you can go around the other side fairly easily.
How long does it take?
Oh, like less than a minute.
Okay. My card says see page 231, but I believe I can use detect thoughts to detect the presence of a thinking creature in an area, right? Within.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So start on one end, check there, quickly go around and check the.
What?
Is there the presence of a thinking creature in where that house is?
There's like minds and it's thinking, but it's a low intelligence.
Okay.
And it's you like investigate. There's a couple rats, but no, you don't sense any individuals, any sentient creatures mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that can be Boy Mary's job. Because the gang doesn't own the area enough that I feel like I can just break into a.
Yeah, that's up to you.
But there is a law enforcement organization that also patrols this area and has actual authority through the system.
There is
Yeah.
a guard. Yeah. You saw them when you came in and made a wish, and you've seen them as you've been walking around. There's guards that move about,
But probably not as stickly and, present as in our main district.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Presence is around the same, but they're a bit more slovenly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not the sneaky I pick the lock kind of guy.
Smash a window, reach in.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know. With acid splash, you could probably melt the lock pretty silently.
With some time and a little application of force.
You
Just
could
sizzle,
certainly
sizzle.
try.
Sizzle, sizzle.
anyone come back in the alley?
I mean, at this time of day, no, not really.
And don't you still have Mother June with you? She could be a lookout. As long as she doesn't bolt, immediately when you start casting the spell.
You mean when the alarm goes off and presumably there is an immediate guard force that is going to be there within seconds?
Yeah.
Seconds.
Seeing
like,
how
I'm
you
like,
both died, it seems like someone made the correct decision. And it wasn't
To be
either
fair-
of you.
To be fair, I did it because I thought I was drawing them off because I figured that there would be an immediate response. So that was completely me misunderstanding the way that things were working right there.
You had the timing for when the guards were around. You didn't say you waited till they were close so that you could trigger it and lead them away. So.
Yeah, I'd made the. I had us. I had believed that I had gotten the information that I needed, and I was doing it according to what I was told. I misunderstood.
Okay.
So, yeah. But again, yes, I lived and they died, so.
Someone made the right choice.
But it was not the goal of leaving you. It was the goal of trying to help, and I think the way that I ran made it very clear.
So you gonna try to get him?
I'm deciding if this makes it easy. He turns invisible, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I acid splash the back door. He can do the front if he needs it.
that is something I can do, yes.
Okay.
I'm door wood,
Well,
Doors, locks,
lock metal.
Yeah.
I think acid work better on wood than.
I mean, if we're gonna caveman this, I think so. Jane, agree? I don't.
Because then I would break it around the lock as opposed to the lock itself.
Okay.
Just because you can do it as much as you want, you might want to hit it with a little bit of detect magic before you start trying to break through.
Okay, I detect magic. It is magical. Yes?
Yeah, there's a standard arcane lock on it. There is not an alarm.
Yeah, I don't think
So
so.
we're
I
starting to
assume
be able
this
to
guy does
tell
not
that?
have the. I assume this guy
Yeah,
does
you
not
can
have the
always
money to alarm his door.
Arcane lock and
is-
alarm are different spells.
and
Yeah,
Arcane
well-
lock's way more expensive than alarm.
Yes, but arcane lock is standardized within the city.
Yeah, that's a standard things that doors come with.
It's substantially more expensive.
Not with this version that it is.
It
This
is-
is
it
a
falls
utility
under
This
magic.
is an
utility.
incredibly high magic area.
This is a utility magic version of arcane lock.
I was gonna say, for Arcane lock, it's 50 gold a pop
and
per lock.
These are just permanency
yeah,
at
you-
some point.
Well,
Well,
they
they are
Arcane locks
always
last.
permanent.
They're just,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's 50
always
gold.
permanent.
It's just expensive.
Okay, I did not know with detect
It's a
magic.
high magic area. It is cheaper to make arcane lock than it says in the book.
It would
It is
have
a
to be.
it is a utility
Yes.
magic version.
That's yes, it is cheaper.
It's probably one where you can't just go on site and spend it. The material it has to be built into the lock as it's crafted, and you have to buy the door with it. It's I'm sure some sort of hassle, but it's much cheaper.
The
And-
doors here are like 2 gold for a new door, which is insane for a door unless it comes with arcane lock. So yeah, you cast it about 3 or 4 times, and it's loose enough that you could open it.
push it through, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's dark. The curtains are drawn. Do you have dark vision? No. It would be
if I want to.
definitely. It would be a little light right now, just because even though it's daytime, there are no open curtains, and the fire seems to be out. The hearth is out.
Yeah, I'll give myself 8 hours of dark vision.
Okay.
Ultra self.
No, dark vision.
Oh.
Okay. So you root around in your pouch and you pull out a vial that has almost like a starry night kind of thing. So it's like liquid with looks like little stars in it, and you pop it and down it, and all of a sudden your eyes.
I mean, technically, I think the idea is it just awakens the eye in the chest as far as the. But yeah,
your eyes just go shing and then back to normal real quick, and you can see.
But,
So you're no longer rolling at disadvantage. So, are you perceiving or investigating?
I'm me. I should probably be investigating.
Okay.
Are you there to help?
I will be there to help, but the building has multiple windows with curtains drawn.
Mm-hmm.
I want to I want to pull away one of the curtains from one of the windows that is not directly, like, facing the street, I guess.
There are windows in between the alleys, and like there's a clogged alley, so you can open one of those windows if you prefer.
Sure.
But that's in the bedroom, so it would have walls between it and the main area. Okay, you go with that? Okay, so
Yeah.
You open the curtains. Are you just peeking, or are you opening full open?
I'm just opening it enough to be able to see outside.
Okay. You can't really see the street super well from this angle, so any like lookout for guards would be at disadvantage, but they would have a very hard time seeing you as well.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just keeping an eye out instead?
I'm going to help you, but I just wanted
Well,
that.
you kind of need to either keep watch or help, unless you're casting enhance ability.
There you go.
Okay, so I have advantage.
Because you can't help someone investigate while staring out a window.
Right.
I'll do with a 13 on that one for 20.
Okay. As you're going through the building, it becomes relatively apparent there's no food in the pantry. There's clothing missing. There is, doesn't seem any, you know how, a house kind of effect, you check the mantle, there's no personal effects, there's no candles on the mantle, there's, stuff in the house, and it looks like things were taken trying to be kind of sneaky, but, when you opened his wardrobe, there was a hanger that's empty, there's, hangers hanging empty, and this isn't, modern-day societies where you buy a dozen, so... you notice that definitely there are things in this place that are missing that would be more than a single set of clothing that one would wear when they went out. And you don't find any money. You don't, but you do find a loose floorboard that when you open it up, there seems to be just a cubby under the house. It's empty. And there's nothing in there. So it seems to you, from what you found, is that things were removed from the house.
He pulled a runner.
It's looks like he was going on a little trip, huh?
Do we have a good enough description to ask the gate gods if he went that way?
You guys could go and get a description from other people. You could ask the gate guards if they know who he is, as he is a member of the gang. There are things you can do. So,
well,
you have a reasonable description of who he is. You could make it more assured by either bringing someone with you who knows exactly what he looks like to help describe it, or finding a friendly guard to the gang.
You go for the guards, I'll go talk to the gang and sending Stone you the description.
Okay. Later.
Okay. So as you go out, most of the gang is out and wandering, and you've seen them. Go ahead and give me a quick perception check.
They're both good. So.
Well, it's halfway through. I shouldn't be rolling at advantage,
Yeah.
but this 16 still works.
I'll take it as the disadvantage. It's still a...
Yeah, so 22.
Okay. you find Klaus, who the perception check was just to see how useful someone you found was. You were going to find someone.
Alright.
So yeah, you find Klaus wandering by, who was the one who told you about him in the first place.
I'm like, Klaus,
Yes, was.
could you give me a physical description? I need to know what Forrest looked like. It looks like he's gone on a little trip, and we need to find him.
He's a human, about 5'8". Brown hair, green eyes, relatively average looking. He's got scars on his chest from some issue of animal attack when he was a child. And has some tattooing. The horse's head tattoo on one of his arms, and one that he lost a bet on a buttock. I don't think it would be very useful to describe, but we were drunk and it was really funny. It says your name in 3 languages.
Oh, which ones?
Draconic, Dwarven, and Gnomish. Because that's what the tattoo artist knew.
It says your name.
Your name. The words your and the word name.
Just making sure I understood it.
In 3 different languages.
What's mine say?
Alright. Go ahead and use the sending stone and give Richter our description of what Forrest looks like.
I'm headed to the gate guards.
Which gate? There's you've done the most investigating of the area as anyone, so you know that there's about 6 different ways out of it. The closest gate to exiting the city is actually through the zone that you guys came for.
That's what I'm assuming is.
And then there's 2 other gates that you can get through 3 other exits of this zone.
Yeah, I'm thinking basically the one where because we're gathering, he probably left early this morning, late last night. That's kind of a time frame. He would have been there yesterday. It seems like, correct? Because
it was yesterday when you took over the gang.
I believe so.
No,
was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I thought it was Tuesday.
we took over the gang that night. We didn't investigate till Wednesday when we noticed the money was missing.
And so, so you took it over Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday evening we headed out of the bar as Mama June started trying to convert new gang members.
Yeah, Tuesday night Mary takes...
And then it would have been yesterday that they were up there probably is when they would have found things out and they set up we want to talk, which might have been...
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and need an intelligence check from you to see if you, knowing...
Do I still have...
enhance ability?
I'm still concentrating.
I'm thinking about how long it took you to find Cloud. Yeah, you probably have... This will probably be your last check of it, so yeah.
I'll go with the 9. For 14, if it's just only intelligence being added.
You remember... The problem is that they're, like, the medium... The brown... It's the green eyes that's triggering you. You remember a brown-haired, average height man with green eyes because you thought they'd look great in a zombie. But
I'm a monster.
you're not 100% sure if you saw him Tuesday or Wednesday or... so you're not quite sure when the last time you saw him, but you know you did see him at some point. So he was definitely there at least Tuesday at the earliest.
Okay. Well, I guess the immediate gate would be the closest one that I...
It's the closest
It's the one
gate.
through our...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I guess the first one that I had to ask at, because that would have been if his goal was just to skip town as quick as possible, that would have been the closest one to him.
There's not like walls between the zones, as I've said, so it's not like you have to go all the way to the gatehouse. Okay. So
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay. So it takes you about an hour and a half to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting there around 5 when you're inquiring. And go ahead and make a... Ooh, let's go ahead and do... Well, you're making a persuasion check. I'm making a percentage check.
10.
You go up there and you're trying to get information out of them.
I'm also... I will point out. I'm also trying to figure out with that if they know information, because I'm not unwilling to bribe if I feel they know something and they want something for it. Because, I mean, I don't think that it would necessarily be...
Okay, then do a quick insight after you've kind of given a description.
Oh, sorry, I'm over here looking at what my bonus is to add to my 1. Well, I get a +4 to it.
You can't...
That's
like,
5.
They're kind of hard to read. You can't really tell. They're
These
they're
stony-faced
basically
guards.
they're just staring at you. This guy has walked up to them with a badger on his shoulder, asking about a guy.
Badger's in the bag for...
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Asking about a guy with brown hair and green eyes.
I described the scars and the tattooing, that not the one on the bottom. If she even bothered to tell me that one.
His response is, "There's a lot of people
Yeah.
look like that, and most of them wear clothes. So the shirtless people who have been working here, I didn't see any of that. With scars and tattooing. One or the other, but not those scars or those tattoos at the same time."
Alright.
So that's one of the 3 gates.
I work to remember his face.
Okay.
I feel he was being condescending.
He's got, this is elf with just the most ridiculous eyebrows you've ever seen. Like, they go way, way up.
Real World of Warcraft stuff.
Yeah, just floofy and out there, and he's pretty proud of them, and he probably shouldn't be.
Like
with,
the Monarch.
Kind of like a dirty blonde hair, and just the soul patch. Just the soul patch. With just a pearl of a piercing nestled in it.
The man has made some choices in his life.
Also,
Why did I ask the silly guard?
good to know that elves in your world can grow some sort of facial hair.
Eyebrows.
Well, even the soul patch.
Yeah.
You are aware from your investigations in the general store and stuff like that, and your interest in potions, that there are things that you can add, tinctures that you can add for hair growth. And you're pretty sure that's what happened. And he is a corporal, which has put him in charge of this particular gate at this time.
Meaning
probably don't
this.
immediately just clip on his eyebrows.
He's very proud of them.
Obviously, he
Just
bought
like you're
wax
talking
and
to him,
hair
he's
growth
like, he's like doing, you see, like, fingering them and playing with them.
Do they actually, like, raise up off of his head to stick out from it?
It's a little floofy, but it's not, like, grown out and pointed like a twirly mustache. It's still attached to the side, but it is floofier than you would expect.
Kind of dude who goes, "What? Eyebrow beam?"
Yeah, a pretty full caterpillar on that eyebrow. A sculpted caterpillar is what he's got going on there.
But, while I've got Klaus here with me, I asked him, did Forrest spend any time at Madame Daisy's?
At the garden.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's the garden.
And he's like, yeah, did he spend...
He spent a good deal of time there.
Right.
I like how his accent keeps getting thicker and thicker every time he talks.
Not a voice actor, barely a person.
Alright.
It's just funny. I said I liked it.
I want to go and take a look and talk to some people around the garden about their situation, so I'm going to head that way.
Okay. It's about 15 to 20 minute walk, and as you walk in, it's like, kind of the beginning of their day, but you could tell the girls aren't really in full swing and not really paying super close attention, and what you do notice is that there's a gentleman in a suit who you readily recognize, who seems to be sitting at a table entertaining three lovely ladies. It's Steve, your lawyer. And judging by the volume of his laugh and the pinkness of his cheeks, he might be a little drunk.
Go ahead and approach, and he's like, having a good time?
Boss!
Hey.
This is Janet. Janine. Like, he just like, Janet, who's actually Janine, and the other one goes, I'm Janet. Two Janets! And this little lady is, here's her name. There are certain people I actually have names for.
And apparently a lot of them live in the process.
And this little lady, it's a small fairy named Isabel.
Oh, yeah. Isabel. I've already got her written down.
Because she is a belle.
But not a Mary.
No, that's you. You're married.
No, I'm a Mary Bell.
It's like, oh, good. You're getting to know him. That's great.
I'm pumping him for all sorts of information. They're like, oh, is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, I'm pumping you, girls. Gotcha. So, who's been the one managing?
I haven't managed to find out yet.
Mm.
I'm keeping my eyes glued as he's just staring at one of their chests.
Yeah, and turn to Isabel. And it's like, could I ask you a couple questions while he's entertaining the other two?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
She like buzzes up and flies over and goes, so, what you drinking? As she flies like over behind the bar.
Amaretto sour.
She makes you an amaretto sour and goes,
You involve one of the people in the group that does drink the question.
she says, that'll be 5 gold and another 20 for my time.
It's some so expensive ladies. I mean, that's like really expensive.
I can't afford the drink.
I'll put the drink on the house. Now, what do you want to know? Seeing how you've sent one agent in here already to try to get information on my girls.
Oh, good. So I'm talking to at least somebody who knows something. I'd like to introduce myself as one of the new heads of the Horse's Head. And just wanted to kind of get to know you and also ask the question about somebody who's gone missing recently.
Oh, I love answering questions. It's so profitable.
Yes. Well, I assume it will be. So,
before we start delving in things too deeply,
yeah.
as you're the new replacing the old, I feel like, as I am the new replacing the old, we should figure out what our working relationship is going to be. As the last one worked out quite well for everyone involved.
From what I understand, there was a very amicable relationship, and I don't mind essentially continuing along the same lines.
Let's just lay it out so we know what everyone's agreeing to. You get 10% per month. That means any trouble, you or your boys take care of it. Any debts not paid, you get it collected. You don't get to keep anything extra off of the debts collected. That comes out of your 10%. Any one of your guys roughs up the girls, you take care of them. Don't make me do it.
Don't worry.
Anyone else roughs up the girls, you take care of them too. And any further problems, we negotiate case by case. And we can be friends. And friends help each other.
Yes. I do have a condition, though. The condition that I have is that any of the clientele that come in here, not that you're going to know every time so I can understand, but if you do know, essentially, is that if you have a client come in and whose patronage would be a threat to the stability of his family, to refuse him service.
Oh, that's not how we work. People are responsible for their own deaths.
It's like asking at a bar, okay, I want you to keep serving, but don't serve to anybody who's an alcoholic. It's like half my profits.
That's
And how am I supposed to know that?
if you just wanted to shut down my business, why don't you come in here with thugs and burn it? People's personal lives is their business, none of mine. I'm not going to go asking.
Mm.
If I see a man whose wife I've met on the street 1,000,000 times and had tea with, maybe they got a divorce. I don't know. Don't care. Not my problem. I provide a service. They pay for it. Anything after that, outside of that, is on them.
Maybe you can convince her to get a little, like, card tray or brochures to get help if you need it. Sort of like, the gambling companies sponsoring commercials for
I like it.
need help.
You want the Surgeon General's warning on the side of the building. Prostitution.
Sleeping around on your wife might not end well with her.
Okay, say I understand your perspective on that. Instead of refusing them service, if you could just record those people for me.
Oh, we do that already. It really helps with the debts being paid in a timely manner.
Good. Then that's all I need.
Oh, then. I think we can come to a cordial relationship. Shakes hand, gives you your 2 gold back, and goes, here, 10% early.
Thank you.
I was like, I need those recordings. What? I gotta guilt these people at church.
Mm. So, anyway.
Do we level up?
At the end of the session, your goddamn horses. Yes, but wait.
But I finished a long rest.
You level up marginally sooner.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
We do straight
always
Oblivion
are.
rules. Did you sleep?
You gotta take a nap first.
On to the other matter is, are you familiar with our boy Forrest?
Yes, he comes in time to time. Haven't seen him in a few days, but that's not terribly unusual.
Okay, so he hasn't been around at least.
No, but then again, his girl hasn't been around much either. He had a girl he's seeing pretty regularly here, and she quit Tuesday, I guess.
Bum bum bum.
Okay, so who is his girl?
Jenny.
Of course.
Of course.
Oh. Slap him for me. Slap the gay bastard.
Do you like
Do
this?
it.
Just a little.
I mean, I know lots of Jennies.
Wait.
So
Okay, I haven't actually seen the movie. Jenny was a whore?
Yeah.
Forrest wasn't a gangster.
Oh, that
He
Jenny.
invested in a fruit company. Apple.
He went to the moon.
Not in that movie.
Yeah, not that movie.
Was there a sequel to Forrest Gump?
He's Apollo 13.
There was books, man.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of those stories where things just went nuts.
Yeah, Forrest Gump was a real weird book. They skipped over the part in Nam where they got him stoned out of his mind.
Could you give me her physical description?
Sure. She's a human, about 5'2". Just beautiful. Honey blonde hair, bright blue eyes, perfectly straight teeth. Not really a blemish on her unless you look real close, and there's a little mole in between her 2 toes on one of her feet. Not important, but descriptive.
Awful specific.
And she wasn't a local. She had a sort of questioning accent. You know, where everything ends in a question?
Well, I guess we'll have to find out where Forrest and Jenny have run off to.
Good luck.
Thanks. And
Peddling flesh is my business. That is yours.
yeah, I'll leave you to your business. I expect.
As always, come again.
Oh. Take care, Steve, will you? Thank you.
Oh, he's paid in full.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I will leave then.
You supplemented Steve's critical failure severely. Just like, yep. He went there to find out girl to crit when I'm like, okay, he got drunk and didn't pay attention.
Alright, so that's at least taken care of. Now we just gotta find out where the runner is.
Could already have been a boat and long gone, unless we pay someone for scrying.
What do you think I asked for the player's handbook for?
Hmm.
I do not believe we really have the...
I will be going back to the... As best as I can figure, Spartacus should probably still be at the Red Inn, right?
That's where he usually is.
Then I will head there.
He just works out of there. And plus, we haven't got the other one turned into living quarters yet.
Technically, there's living quarters.
There's a living quarter.
You all have beds there.
Yeah, they got beds and stuff.
I have a private room that I had built.
Spartacus probably won't stop renting until his demands are met.
Mm-hmm.
Which is private bathing facilities as well. Just for him.
But it's okay, that comes under
That can come under the same footprint as his room.
Oh, no, he's a, 8-foot tall minotaur.
Here's
Yeah,
your
and we
dust
had very
shower.
large divisions for what the rooms were.
Ooh. Not for 10 of us. All that upper space divided.
With how we chose to divide it, yeah. Pretty big. But
Still big dude. Needs big bath, big bed.
Also, frankly, I think that just comes out of our deal with the Red Horse Inn, and we don't think about that money anymore.
Well, yeah, you lose money. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving on to different money-making ventures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so around this time, it's about... By the time you're leaving there and making your way back to the Red Horse Inn, it's about... So you got there 5, probably more out at 6. So it's about 7:30.
Around this time, done with Huxley for the day, let him inside, and I'll start not patrolling, but scoping out different houses to rob as a cat.
Are you scoping as a cat, or you're going to rob them as a cat?
I'm scoping as a cat.
Okay, where are you scoping?
It's further away from still in the Red Horse District, but further away from the inn or the base.
Okay.
And now that I know, it's every once in a while, let me know if I find any good prospects, or if I need to roll.
You'll need to roll.
Okay.
Yeah, do an investigation check.
Of course.
Yeah.
3.
3. Okay.
So I'm just a cat on the town for the night, probably.
You probably would have gotten a lot more investigation done if some horny tomcat didn't decide you were just Pepe Le Pew new favorite. And
I would say, I'm just be glad it wasn't a skunk, you know?
Yeah, it kept chasing you around. Your evening turned into a Looney Tune.
And with that 3, no point do I think I could just be a dog, not deal with this. No, it's a cat running. So that's my evening, unless there's another check. And then I'll go home for bed.
Okay. Ryan, you're at the Red Horse. Where are you doing?
I locate Spartacus.
He is sitting at his standard little back table and sending runners off, and like it looks like the remnants of his dinner is sitting there, and he's enjoying a pot of tea and like a cake.
And Sparty upstairs.
Sure. Sure thing, boss. Gets up kind of ponderously and follows you up the stairs.
Alright. In a room. So, we managed to interrogate the members of the gang to try to figure out who might have taken the money from the vault. And we noticed that one of the members was missing, and apparently him and his favorite girl at Madame's garden have gone missing, and nobody's seen them since Tuesday night. And I managed to get both their physical descriptions, and now we're going to try to nail them down. I've got some of the members of that gang looking to locate them, but if he's out of their zone, they might not be able to pin him down. And I figure with out of the lieutenants here, probably the best connected with people with eyes on the street to try to pin these guys down.
I can tell my guys to keep an eye open, but they're really only working in our zone, our two zones.
Yeah.
And it's going to start stretching me thin. I need to hire an underling for that. I have some ideas, but...
Well, if we could at least keep a net out to try to catch these guys, I mean, we'll continue looking, but see if we can nab them before they get out of the city with the money, if they're not already gone, but we'll try to find them.
Sure thing, boss.
Yeah. So I give him the physical description of Forrest and Jenny and see if there's anything he can do with that.
I'll let my guys know.
Alright.
He goes back downstairs, and sits down, and the next runners that come in, he makes them sit down and they have a longer conversation before they take off.
Well, it's getting pretty late at night. I will wait and see if Mary gets up.
It's around that time. I mean, you're probably up at this point.
Then yes, I'd be coming down for breakfast.
Your night breakfast.
Yes. I'm breaking my fast.
Yeah, remember, every meal is breakfast.
Yeah. I've been fasting for almost 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Break fast.
I ate 3 steaks, so I think I'm good. I don't feel fasting. I feel full and happy.
But yeah, when Mary comes down, or when it comes up, and meet me in the meeting room.
So Mary, you walk down the stairs, and Mother June's like, "Turn around."
And he's like, "Get your food."
Well, yeah,
we'll
gotta
go
get my
upstairs."
food.
To be fair, that was a lot more patient than I was when I needed to speak with him.
That's
Door.
Yeah, get your food and come upstairs.
Sure, we got work tonight?
Kinda. So, I can go ahead and give you the spiel tone. Tell you that we're looking for Jenny and Forrest, and tell you what they look like, and that we're guessing that these two are probably ones that ran off with the money that was in the vault there at the Horse's Head. I know keeping an eye out for them is just something that you can do, but yeah, as far as where they're staying at night, don't know that yet. Say Spartacus has people who are out running and are keeping an eye out, but if they manage to go into one of the other zones, we're not going to have coverage there, basically.
Well, did they have a house?
Yeah, me and Richter went and took a look at his house, and it looks like the place had mostly been cleaned out, and there wasn't any food and his personal stuff, and even a stash that we found that was under a floorboard was emptied out.
Well, I'm guessing they skipped town.
Yep.
That would be the smart money. They'd have to be awfully dumb to rob a gang and then stick around.
So, Richter's still working on his angle, trying to talk to the guards and stuff, but just, I guess, and I don't know what you'd be able to do as far as locating them, but it's
Not much.
keeping an eye out for him. Other thing, Steve is probably going to be spending the night, well, he might come stumbling in at some point, but he's over at the garden getting trimming with the local ladies, and I managed to talk to their current head, which is a little fairy named Isabel.
Ah, I met her. She's a nice girl.
So she's the one who's at least taken charge over there, and I managed to cut a deal with her to basically keep the good train running between our gang and their business. So we got a 10%, and we've got now the job of taking care of their debts and protection. So, if that interests you.
Neato burrito.
So, yeah, that's what's currently going on. Is trying to locate our two runners and, well, I suppose consolidating what we have in that zone and then moving on. Making money. So, anything along those lines.
Yeah. Alright, well, I can eat my food.
I feel like we did this zone so much faster than the first.
Well, yeah.
It's almost like you killed everyone.
Who knows? I don't know.
Sometimes application of violence is a really good solution to your problems.
I don't know.
Though you killed one of them completely unnecessarily. And the madam would have definitely cut a deal with you guys.
She was in the way.
She was too unknown to live.
Yeah.
And yeah, otherwise I go and hang out near the brothels and see if now that they've aligned with us properly, if these balanced blade guys try to cause any trouble.
Okay, perception check.
And who knows? Maybe Jenny will return.
Yeah.
Beside, against her better judgment.
+2 for a 7.
So you're just floating over the garden again.
Yep.
Yeah, sitting here
Just enjoying
doing my job.
just enjoying the ambiance.
You know, the view's better inside.
I'm going to go ahead and let you take 2 more throughout the night.
Perception checks.
Giving Vic just one roll is cruel.
Hey, I rolled a 2. 2 and an 18.
13.
13. Wow.
So that gives me a high of 15.
Alright, around about 3 in the morning, you see Steve wandering out, and he's heading in the wrong direction to get back to the Red Horse.
Where's he going? Like out of the district?
Yes, the incorrect way.
Oh, but
Deciding, is he going somewhere intentionally, or do I help him?
I tail him.
Okay.
This might be part of a clever ruse. Also, it could be funny to watch him stumble around. And I've been bored all night.
And you watch Steve stumble through some things and pee on the side of a house, get yelled at by the house owner, realized he was heading in the wrong direction after walking about an hour, and turn around and start walking back.
Yeah, see, he's finally figured it out.
Man, you must have peed loud to wake them up at 3 a.m.
It was him leaning and going, "Ah!"
Shut the hell up!
Which is better than if he was doing it on, say, the window. It's like it was radio.
It's raining.
Well, yeah, that's why it's the whole night, yeah.
Yep. So, Friday morning. Oh, wait, Adam, you still have time left. You were at, like, 5. Is there anything you want to do with the rest of your day?
What time do we meet?
In the morning?
Mm-hmm.
9.
I have
10 fingers.
up to 8 hours. that I can play with, kind of. Are my tables arrived?
Are you gonna go to the Red Horse and check, or go to the
no,
building?
to the building, the warehouse. The
Yes, your tables have arrived.
day one of start working on Yank. Yeah.
You notice that like part of its face is melted
That's fine.
a little bit.
That was the bad side anyway.
And as you begin working on him, there's some rot to him, but you think you can make it work?
How competent is Badger?
At what?
I mean, officially speaking, Badger
Super good
can't
at stealing bacon.
aid me in a fight. Could Badger take on, like, a cat and drag it back to me or something? Like a street cat kind of thing?
You could certainly try.
Yeah, I send Badger off, try and get me some sort of... I just need a little bit of extra fleshy bits with some muscle. It doesn't matter. It's not important what. Just something I can use to patch this up a bit.
Like a cat, or possibly a malnourished dog that's been hanging around.
A dog would work. Really, if you find a possum... Really, I'm not really picky.
Okay. Nick, what's your AC?
That's right, you're a cat. As a cat,
You're gonna have to resummon the badger.
I mean, you're a cat though. You're gonna get
Unsummoned, and you know exactly what badger it is, because not very many badgers have flame motif bow ties.
14. Unless cat has higher dice than me, probably, but yeah.
Okay, Adam, do you have badger stats?
Yeah, I do.
I guess I could let you roll since it's your badger.
Plus 2 for its attack, dealing 1 piercing damage.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll against...
20.
Yeah, okay.
Cat's
You're
got 12.
Mm-hmm. How much HP?
2. So, yeah.
Does badger have multi-attack?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you've been hit by a rogue badger.
You've been hit by a rogue badger with a flame motif bow tie.
You have a +1 to hit for 1 slashing damage.
I just transform back to myself and grab it by the scruff of the neck. Bad badger, bad. And I toss it back into our yard.
Just toss it.
Just
Okay.
Well, you know
roll
what your investigation failed.
athletics, and then athletics or acrobatics, whichever's higher for the badger.
Yeah, it's true. Gotta gavel it.
13 on acrobatics.
have that trained, so that's +3, 14.
Okay, you grab the badger and yeet it into the yard. Which, go ahead and roll another acrobatics check for me, Adam.
15.
Okay. Badger takes 1 damage.
Has 3 health.
It's fine.
So yeah, the badger comes in.
I'd already had a night.
Limping a little bit.
Wouldn't believe it. Biggest cat you ever saw.
Yeah, it doesn't bring anything back.
If only it could have found that other cat.
No, it got yeeted off the roof. It didn't have a chance to attack the other cat. He just attacked the first one. So yeah, no cat this night.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I have time. I'm sure a lot of the first days are a lot more chemical stuff and just pumping stuff in so that it, like, preserves it as I work.
Yeah. I was gonna, he crit missed on his perception, so we found the not a cat.
And me, I'd already had a bit of a night, so I didn't.
So you're just like, I've had a day!
I know how my spell works, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're intimately familiar with how your spell works. It's required. Yep. You're a wizard.
I'm just aware that if I kill the badger, I don't get to use its flesh. It poofs.
Yes. There's a dog downstairs.
Where is the dog? Or is it at the bin? Because he's at the temple.
He usually is Huxley at the temple.
No, I've been taking him with me. I'm not sleeping here yet.
Okay, so where was Huxley while you were running around on the roofs?
Brought it back inside, so back to the inn.
Okay, because you trained him at the
Yeah.
temple. I thought inside was temple. So yeah, there's no dog there.
Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, no.
Do I feel like I need it first day, or otherwise I got other things I got time to...
I mean, you can always fix his face with fur later.
Yeah. I figure that's the best solution.
Not kill an alligator or get some alligator skin or something.
Where are you going to get an alligator?
Yeah, where are you going to get an alligator here?
Hey, there's an adventurous district. I'm sure they have it.
You'd probably be better off chasing skinks.
I was like, we do have sewers.
Okay, so you spend 8 hours not sleeping but working.
Yeah. And then I basically have 8 hours after that until the meeting starts. I'm late. However long it takes for me to walk over there. But
Okay, yeah, it's like 10 minutes.
yeah, so...
It is incidental.
But yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
but still enough for a full 8 hour rest.
So
Yeah.
Friday.
That's why I was doing my figures. I was counting my time.
Yeah, so Friday morning.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Friday.
The day after Thursday, but before Saturday.
Oh, Renette, bless the faithful, and thank you for all the abundance that you bring to us.
Molly's just over there eating.
Yes, how about the brothel still doesn't need none of those balanced blade guys.
Well, at least we don't have them too active in our zone now. But I'm sure we'll run into them soon enough.
Do we know what the zone they're from?
The Balanced Blades?
Yeah.
They are the next zone to the north.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna have to draw you guys a map at some point. This is getting like complicated for y'all.
It doesn't have to be pretty. You're not me.
I'm gonna be pleased with adequate.
I mean,
I'm gonna be pleased with barely adequate.
we don't need a map at all, really.
I do.
Oh, Vic says you don't need a map, so that really frees up my time.
It can really just be lines of what district is next to each other. It can be done in like Excel, basically.
I don't excel at that.
Okay.
As far as we got our home district that's next to the slums, and then the Horse's Head district. How many zones is the Horse's Head district connected to, excluding the home zone?
Okay, so excluding the one.
What are our chances? We can go into the residential one that we've already just began looking to and then redirected. Do we have a different choice now for what to poke into?
There's 6 different ones you could go to.
Okay.
There's okay, so there's the slums.
Mhm.
There's you can go north and start trying to work your way. No, you can't, because that would be completely out leveling you. So yeah, there's the slums, and then there's like 3. There's 2 attached to the horse head, and then there's slums on the other side.
And just from people, we have people, some of the people here that have lived in the city. What do we know of those? Enough, like, description level of slums, like, are they residential? Are they business? Are they...
It's almost entirely residential with day laborers who are not union members.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of rampant crime, but no named gangs, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a block-by-block kind of thing. There's no one gone over there and, like, made an effort to organize, and there's,
Unorganized crime in a city. Man, that just sounds annoying. I mean, who could ever possibly stand that?
There's a slight difference between one portion of a city and an entire city.
Anyways, probably just go after the poor. Seem like an easier mark and get some numbers on our side that make going to the other ones easier when we...
Yeah, there's a crafting district that's like a lot of blacksmiths. That's where Abbott's from.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where his wife lives, is in like crafting. So there's like leather workers, tanners, blacksmiths.
I just paused. How much influence did your wife have in
Oh, she's so mad. Well, I mean, she was a pretty good blacksmith. She had a successful shop. I don't know how it's doing now.
But she wasn't like the leader of the local blacksmiths, was she?
No, they don't really have a leader. I mean, there's a master blacksmith who lives out there, but he mainly does commissions for the bigger building areas. So, like, your doors, your locks, mainly that's what he does, is that kind of thing.
And no one else was super important over there?
Well, I mean, like, there's important people.
Do you know some
But
of
you
them?
don't think that your wife was one of the ones that was important to the region itself?
I mean, no, but I didn't really go out much. Her and I stayed in a lot. And when I did, I just kind of went to gamble elsewhere.
And we got to work on stitching back your relationship with her. I mean,
Yeah.
She's been gone, what, like 3-4 weeks now?
You got like 15,000 gold to throw at that problem?
Like I said, maybe we go into the residential, increase our
we
numbers, and
might need a
we'll
little bit
build it
more
up when we
time, and
we'll
don't-
build it up when we get there.
Yeah, because she's going to be mad if I show up with money. If I show up without money, you're going to need someone else to work on the books. Speaking of, here's your books.
What'd you learn?
He hands you a copy of the ledger as you tend to request one. He goes, well, I learned that there was a basic... they got a 15% kicker from the guild, the guarded garden previously, so that was a pretty good little chunk of change. And then they mainly were loan sharking, debt collecting, and the gambling is where their big money came from. They pulled in about 20,000 a month.
How much is it that we've lost that we're needing to rebuild? The missing money.
Oh, how much was stolen?
How much
believe it was
does a
10,000.
weekend need?
Yeah. That's basically what we need in order to resume doing that work.
So that was about the money that went missing was 10,000. So it was about a half a month's profit. Oh wait, no, it was a different amount, and you guys don't know the amount. I shouldn't have said that. You need 10,000 for the weekend thing.
Can we have the guys start pulling any...
Yeah, I mean, in order to do the gambling thing that we can't do because
You need
that was the amount that I was talking about.
you need
Whether if he had extra money that we don't know what it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
the money that went missing from the safe. You don't know exactly the
yeah,
amount.
I know the amount that that it had to be for us to do what to make the money roll in like we want.
Yeah, it was
That's the part I care
10,000 to cover bets, kind of thing.
If we were doing loan sharking, is there enough people we can just start calling in debts as new management to, if they were delinquent and we'd given them some leeway, start calling in those?
This is not a debt book.
Yeah.
There's like a number, but I don't have names.
Yeah.
I know that in total they've lent out 50,000, but I don't know to who or how much.
Mm.
So that's missing too, or...
Yeah, I don't have any of that information.
I don't know, I guess maybe ask the twins if they know where the debt book is.
Did the dead guy live at the bar?
Are you talking to...
The old boss?
Quentin? Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
checked his stuff.
Yeah, Quentin lived upstairs.
Oh, okay. And yeah, I got no clues if he didn't have another house.
Mm-hmm. And nothing on any bank accounts of his?
I mean, yeah, there's some bank accounts listed here. Probably going to have to talk to Hannah about getting into them because I don't have any of the shops or keys or anything of that nature.
So Quentin,
What's needed? Looking over to Spartacus, what's needed for getting her just? Would she be someone you'd be considering to put under you as far as?
I'd love to. I'd need a bump in percentage to my department.
What are we looking at? Just at least I can't make an immediate.
Spartacus is at... That is the wrong notes. His notes are here. Spartacus is at 17% of profit of money coming in. He gets.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to bump that up to 20% for to recruit Hannah, he believes.
Well, we'll put it into consideration.
And just so you guys are aware,
Mm-hmm.
your total percentage that gets pulled away from everything you bring in
Mm-hmm.
is 67% right now.
Oh.
So bumping up to 20 would be 70%. So you, as a group, would get 30% of the gold made.
Sometimes you gotta lose money,
Well, that like basically means like everything runs good. You can assign people to do things.
And, those gangs we have making money are still actually pulling in that 10 to 15 or whatever thousand a week.
So
And we get 30% of that.
it's 10,000 a month.
Month,
So yeah, you get 30% of that.
Did we ever officially finish what we wanted to do with getting the bar actually in our name?
No, we needed another 500 gold.
Yep, you haven't finished that yet.
If we bump it up and get her on there, would that...
You could. She'd probably still want the 500 gold before she agreed, but yeah, you could. She might be able to sign and defer that you're 500 down the line if you're exceptionally good at negotiating.
Especially...
We've had to call her in and pay her multiple times, and we're already thinking about further things that we would need her for.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Spartacus is organized quite well, even before we've managed to have really much of a place to organize out of. And I think is starting to stretch in what he needs. I wasn't there, but I know there was a thing that he said he needed someone else under him to be able to accomplish when you were talking to Spartacus last.
Yeah, that was...
For him to start administrating to the new zone, he was...
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he hasn't left the Red Horse to move to a spot in the new zone is because he can't.
Yeah, he's got other
Mm-hmm.
stuff he needs to manage here. So.
Does each new zone need a new sub-lieutenant?
Yeah, it needs a new sergeant for each zone. Which won't always increase the pay, but Hannah is a lieutenant level candidate. She was one of your options for lieutenants when you came to town. So if you recruited her, which you can, but it's going to cost you
Another
pay.
3%.
Yeah, because she's competent. More so than what a sergeant would be. Like, Klaus is your enforcer sergeant. You beat him up relatively quickly, and his job is beating people up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He respects that. We took your entire side of the gang, and you didn't hurt us, besides Mother June.
He put forward the idea. I'll leave it up to others to decide if that is foolish.
Well, to get a whole bunch more money, it seems like we need her, and we always seem to need to forge stuff.
Yeah.
And we're currently, now we're technically making money. So...
Oh wait, she was Abbott. Sorry.
Yeah, she was...
She was Abbott's, the other one who could have been Abbott. But yeah, she can work logistics too. But
I did. I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
I always thought Hannah was logistics, and...
No, she was finances.
yeah,
Oh,
she
was
was
she?
finance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Abbott
Ford-
doubles.
I feel like, but she
she
okay.
can do what Abbott can do, but not as well.
Just to make sure that I'm clear, her interactions were a lot with Spartacus, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
just make sure,
Abbott's-
because that's why
yeah.
I tied that together. But I was just making sure I did. Like, there's not another one that I'm.
No, because Spartacus found her because he's logistics.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, she would be working for Abbott, so it would be him who would need a bump. And Abbott he's only pulling 5%, so him getting a 3% bump would probably be good anyways.
Yeah.
It's basically just him right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't mind giving Abbott another person to work under him.
Mm-hmm.
But that still leaves us with, we need another chunk to get Spartacus to be spread to the new zone,
No, we don't.
too.
Yeah, Spartacus will find...
No, it just needs time for him to find the level that doesn't require extra pay.
yeah, and he's still spreading his agents out there. He's
Yeah.
a logistics guy. It's just not quite at the same level.
Gotcha.
He got T out there already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see Abbott spending 3% on Abbott's group and getting Hannah as a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
Because Abbott's done a large workhorse all by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're just hoping that this doomsayer pays off and actually brings the cash in now.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say who's the least, even though I love her, it would be her. But no, it's Doomsayer. Hands down, done nothing.
June. June. He just got set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like he's been at it.
He's been set up for like half a day.
Yes.
Where's our pay? Come on, man. Where's the money?
And you may not know it, but I've already started using the lab he set up. Because I was down there late last night. Walk up with my vials. Open wide.
It's like, okay, so we've got a bunch of stuff that we need to get in order to get more money, because that is what we are short on right now.
Yeah, I'm currently trying to scope out someplace around here to rob, just checking what has the alarm spell versus just the
I mean,
arcane locks, yeah.
you can go and rob other districts. You don't have to do it in our hometown.
You've got to be in our backyard.
So, well, I haven't explored the Horse's Head district. Do enough people have actual money out there to be worth stealing from? Robbing their
Yes,
house?
and also that is still a place we control.
Yeah, there are
Don't
other
rob the balance blades.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a weird question. Any cultures around here have, like, you go out to the port and you find, like, the stalls with the ice and the fish. Anyone raise and sell, like, lizard in the same way? Some sort of reptile?
You're looking for a lizard monger
Kind of.
instead of a fish monger.
Yes.
I can inquire.
I need a bit, some of the... I mean, I could use a cat if we find a cat. But,
You just need animal corpses.
I mean... I walk over and I hold Molly's ears. Yank's a little decaying and I want to patch it up.
She's like, I can hear you.
Yes, but
I'm not 3.
It's about politeness.
It's
I'm
just
the
being
size
polite.
of a 3-year-old, but I'm not 3.
It's just being polite.
How?
By
treating you
acknowledging
like
that
a
it might
child.
hurt your feelings to hear.
He's got you there.
It's like,
That's
I've only
polite.
been here like a week, but that does seem like progress.
Shut up, buddy. As far as like, just tell me what you need. And I'll see
Basically
what I
something cheap food grade that is something like that. Reptile. Ultimately, if it needs to be a fish, I've decided a fish might blend in better than a mammal.
can- Yeah, are you looking for scales or fur?
Scales would be better, probably, but it's in the face.
If you can murder another lizard folk and just give me his head, that would work.
I could.
You wouldn't
But-
be you. Literally. Different mind.
Oh no, you
Not
just
necessarily.
peel the
I
face off.
Skin it.
Oh. That's a whole different thing.
like John Travolta, Nicolas Cage.
I'm
Face
gonna
off.
take his face off.
Yeah.
Don't care. Best acting ever. Shut up. You can't convince me otherwise.
I'm a vampire.
A, B, C. Okay. So you're asking Spartacus to find you
Yeah.
a lizard or fish or
Mhm.
cat.
You know, either or.
You know, preferably.
Lizard
it's
preferable, then fish, then cat. Affordability is top priority.
Steve's just over there going, stop shouting.
Also, did you
Oh.
tell Abbott that you lost us 5%?
Yes, we lost 5% on the deal with the whorehouse because I didn't know what it was beforehand.
Also, we should stop putting you at the head of negotiations.
We didn't.
Yeah, true.
She just walked there without telling anyone to do negotiations.
I mean, you could always just go and tell him it's 15, because that was what the old deal was.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to go over and try and renegotiate.
Yeah, we're going to be renegotiating stuff with both the inn owner and other people we do business with in the future.
Yeah. Well, the inn owner locked himself in for what, like a year or 5 years?
He locked himself in for 5 years at 5%.
And to be fair, that's only 10% of what they make, so it's not like we're losing money. Except for, the money we don't get. It's less income, not more outgoing.
Yeah, well, you note that you no longer pay for food or rooms or anything like that, and your people have free run of the place and use it as cover, so it's not completely without use.
Yeah, yeah, Spartacus works and lives here.
I'm not sure. I've made my place elsewhere. I don't, and I bought beds for everyone else. I don't know that anyone else is going to move out of there.
So, yeah, we're still.
It really might end up being that around my room is just a lot of the whatever gang members that need a place to crash, and they just use that as.
It's a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
We'll fix you.
I mean, it is where our chief medicine man is. Dr. Doomstairs. It could be a hospital, and we could play that up. It's like I get access to cure disease. I don't know about any of you.
Not that kind of wizard.
Okay, so Spartacus has his marching orders for the day. Molly didn't get anything. Okay, she got caught.
Did we decide as far as adding the percentage to Abbott? Has that been?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fine with
yeah.
me.
So we also move forward with hiring her. So
Okay, so you're gonna have Spartacus set up, and who's gonna go talk to him?
Us.
Yeah, unless.
And bring Abbott
I
with you.
foresee a good result
Okay.
on these negotiations.
Well, did we want to negotiate that, or did we want to try to get more money out of the garden?
I think, coming back the next day, the deal has changed. Pray I don't change it any further. The next morning could be kind of
I did
asshole-ish.
mention that I was...
Hey, man, that worked really well.
No, he was just, too threatening and they couldn't do anything about it.
Exactly.
I feel like assuming you go over the full deal, perhaps depending on how much they ask of us, if she does a better job of initial, less people running off with debts and us having to do stuff, that it's just fine. Perhaps we more look at it as, based on the workload that it provides, we try and use that as leverage at a later time to renegotiate that. I think very worthwhile to just have control of the region and be able to move on for the immediate time. Also, I would really like to try and negotiate with Hannah to get the paperwork down proper, as we've already been acting as if it's down proper.
Yes, we negotiate your deal, you're part of this thing, and part of the negotiations, you have to finish that paperwork for us.
Yeah. So we've thought about your offer of what you would do for us and how much you'd cost. How about if we just defer that under employment?
So, for underlings, Steve McQueen doesn't have one, Molly Cratchit doesn't have one, Dr. Theodore Doomstair doesn't have one, and Spartacus Boulderbane does not have one either. You're going to get Hannah, so that would be Abbott's, and Jake the Steak Famington as Klaus, the Barbarian, as his.
Oh, we're talking
Sub-lieutenant?
They're
sergeants.
sub-lieutenants, sergeants, whatever you want to call it. And you guys are aware that Jake is a white dragonkin, yeah? He's a dragonborn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes more
White
sense.
Dragonkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mallory
Haven't thought
Molly is a
about it in a long
gnome.
time.
Steve McQueen is an elf.
Yep.
I think like we decided that as the beginning of the game.
Mhm. Did you just recently come up with their last names?
Oh, no, I've had their last names the entire time.
Okay.
I just never say them, so I thought I'd say them out loud.
We say Steve McQueen all the time.
Yeah, Steve McQueen and Jake the Snake Farmington. I know I said them at the beginning. Abbott Jorgensen. I know I said his a couple times. Molly Cratchit. I know I've said hers a couple times. But yeah, most of the time it's just Steve, Jake, Molly Abbott. Doomstair just gets Doomstaired, and Spartacus.
Yeah, Doomsayer doesn't have a first name.
It's Theodore. No, he doesn't have his first name. His first name is Agent.
But as far as what their marching orders are,
Because we no longer need Steve going to the brothel.
yeah, or Molly. 'Cause
Although we can definitely let them know about the negotiated discount.
Yeah.
You didn't negotiate a discount
Mm-hmm.
with the brothel.
Yeah.
No, you guys didn't negotiate a discount.
Just that if any of your guys fuck up, you have to punish them, not us.
Yeah. They took 5% off and removed the discount. That's the two things because you didn't negotiate any further. That was her starting offer and you guys just accepted it.
Oh, I thought that was part of what she said as part of her starting offer, but
No, it was
I
just
wasn't
10%. It was 10% and you get to peruse the names for blackmailing was what you guys got instead.
Just walk in there, throw a unicycle at her, and tell her the deal has changed.
why do we need names for blackmailing?
No.
That's useless.
For Jake, I guess, is Jake already, or is he just
So we're
consolidating?
moving into
steel?
slums next.
Yeah, so, Jake was consolidating and working on... So any day you don't give any of your guys something to do,
Mhm.
they go and work on their organizational side.
Mhm.
So, like, you left Jake alone for a day, so he started organizing people.
Yeah, I think right now Jake is organizing, like he has people under him and he's working on things
So
as far as figuring out ways for them to make money, for
you
what to
can-
do to...
Yeah, so if you pull Jake off of that, Klaus will try to keep all of the people in line. He is an enforcer, that's what he's good at. But Jake is the head of that.
For right now, Jake
organization.
continues the work he's doing there.
Yeah.
That's
I was going to ask
So,
if
like-
he could find the debt book of all the people who owe us now money.
The person who follows or runs around and gets information for you guys is supposed to be Molly, but
Yeah.
she's always on assignment, so she's never able to go and just dig up information
Yeah.
about a particular item or area because she's always on assignment. She has no sergeant yet.
Yeah.
Or like
is she in the middle of anything right now?
she was looking into the brothel, but that hasn't been
So that's
cleared
taken
up.
care of. So
So if you wanted to send someone for information, Molly would probably be better than Jake.
Yeah.
and again, Jake is working on. It takes him more than a day to get things all organized
Yeah.
before I want to just let him leave it under the guy that we just muscled into. You work for us now.
Yeah.
It's like let's.
So we leave Jake unassigned.
Well, no, we assign him to doing that thing. He is
Same
assigned.
difference.
Yeah.
Molly to work in the other gang and try to find the debt book.
Versus trying to hunt down Forrest and Jenny.
It's my guess they left on Tuesday. They're probably long gone.
I'll leave it up to you. I'd like to get them.
Yeah, that's for if we can magic them. But scouring a city this big for two people without magic
Mm-hmm.
versus getting the names of people who can owe us
I'm
money and
guessing
we
a
can
scry would be quite expensive.
5th level spell.
Yeah.
And you'd be scrying based on a vague description of someone who's...
We can have personal effects. There were
Yeah.
enough things left in his house that we can bring a personal effect.
Yeah.
Probably for
But
either
yeah,
of them.
you'd be going to find a mage to cast a 5th level spell. Be like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find this guy. Why are you looking for him? Don't worry about that.
This guy stole from me. I would like to track him down.
Oh, call the guard.
Can we do that?
I mean, you'd have to prove it's yours, and you don't own the building yet, so...
And also, we may or may not be a known gang, and the guard might be able just to pocket that money if they found him. Assuming that guard is corrupt.
Also, with the wizard, if we're paying him for the scry, who cares? We're trying to track him down. God too slow. We think they skipped town outside of guard's jurisdiction.
Yes, but either way, I think...
If we find out they're in town, great. We know where to tell the guards to look.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Molly, what you doing?
I say have her look for the... not the
The
black-
books. The books that would then end up letting us
debt
blackmail
books,
and trying to get the money back another way, even if it's not the full amount that whatever was stolen, the amount that would help us get to the point where we can continue running gambling, because right now we're looking at 2 days from now is gamble day, and we're gonna miss a week of what is the big
It's about
income.
40 to 45% of your income.
Yeah.
So
yeah, have her look for our debt books.
I mean, ultimately, eventually we conquer the city, I learn enough, and I wish them in front of me. We no longer need the money, but I make them one forever.
I've already designed your punishment of fusing you together as a gestalt.
Hey, man.
I vaguely remember seeing what one of them looks like. I have a incredibly vague description of another one as Pretty Girl. I know how I can put those together.
It just is the right ones? Close enough.
It's like,
I mean,
this is awful fantasy Warhammer of you.
I think I can split the mind enough where they both have split memories of each other.
Oh my. Okay, so Molly's still looking into the debt book. Spartacus is looking for a lizard or a cat or a fish.
I mean,
So
that's
you
not
guys-
his job for the day. That is something that he could tell someone to do. That is not occupying the whole day to do that.
Okay.
So let him just also leave him open for administrative to maybe get his sub-lieutenant.
Yeah, as he
have
would.
him search for sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am guessing he could just have someone basically go by a grocer.
Okay, so he needs to find a lizard, a cat, a fish, and a sergeant.
Yeah.
Not a sturgeon, a sergeant. Okay, Jake's working overtime. I'm doing that. Doomstayer, have him set up the lab, or what are you doing? What is he doing?
Set up the lab and
Yeah.
start producing.
Yeah,
this
his
one.
job is to continue to do stuff towards making
he's-
money.
Yeah, he's still on the money making.
He's our income source, and
Yeah, because we made that last time and said he needs to be on money making, and Spartacus asked us how we wanted to distribute it, and we said securely.
Yes, he's making, I think, 4,000 a month. Doomstayer is something like that.
I think it's 2,000 or 4,000 if we went illegal and we're growing illegal weapons. Because drugs are far too legal to make a good profit off
Drunky
of.
McQueen, Steve McQueen, what's he doing? Lawyer at Lord.
Does he have
Or-
a sub-lieutenant yet?
No, he doesn't.
him, any legal recourse that we might have towards recovering this,
The money?
the money.
It'd be really hard to prove it was ours. We need some, like, it'd be easier for me to take over the bank accounts.
Sounds good. Good work. It's like if we can get that. I don't think we can. If we manage to find from the resources that they have the 10,000 that we need to front to be able to continue to gamble this week. That's
Yeah.
There is the other possibility of trying to get a loan from the Red Horse guy, the innkeeper. But
He did offer you one previously.
Mm-hmm.
So, if nothing else, we won't skip this gambling week. We might have to lose a bit of it, but no, if it's
I mean,
we're making
ultimately,
process.
even if he would just front the money, loaning it in that he gets the full profits for the week, I'd say that would be worth it just to make it where anyone that gambles doesn't come there and find out not this week.
Yeah.
Even if we're making none of the profit and we just let him, hey, we're still gathering this. You want to front it and be the profit for this? That's.
Alright, so,
I say
But
we
let's give it the
we'll
day
lead
and see what
in
we can manage to find, if we can obtain the bank and find out what they have in them.
alright, so what's Abbott up to?
going with them to get the
Well, yeah.
Hannah
Recruit.
and his sub-lieutenant, because we now realize they need these things to run a second district. All except Molly. She gets known. She has to cover all this by herself and have no support network.
Yeah, fuck Molly, right?
I'm working on someone for her. Although that'd probably be another district down because it's going to take a while.
Mm-hmm.
He will not be good at that job.
All right.
We don't know his stats.
Find somebody who is.
So, as you make plans and your trials and tribulations of the day, we will pick up there next time. Like, comment, subscribe. Go and watch all of the other videos. Just start at the bottom, watch them all the way up, and then start at the top, watch them all the way down the bottom. We'll appreciate your views. Come back and join us next time. Thanks. Bye.